Fitness ministry came out of a place when I was kind of at my darkest. I wanted to start a movement among women and among girls to be the influence in a generation where everything is about aesthetics. Everything is about, oh, if you don't like something, you can change it. And being perfect when it's our imperfections that make us beautiful. Fitness ministry, Girl Squad, we're a squad. A squad sticks together and they have each other's back. And if we have women that influence that and that speak that and that demonstrate that, we will start a movement among young girls and we will start a change. And it just starts with one person, I believe, and that goes from the next, the next, the next, and that's in the core value of who I am, what I believe, what I stand for, and that is why fitness is my ministry. My mom was an alcoholic and drug addict most of my life. I didn't live with her all the time. I lived with relatives, I lived with friends, and it was chaotic and it was never consistent. Everything that I tried when I was younger to fit in ended up being a crutch. It ended up turning into an addiction for me. It ended up pushing me into everything that I was running so hard away from. I never wanted to be like my mom. I never wanted to have anything that type of lifestyle, but every time I tried harder to get away from it, it was like I was like throwing myself into it. But fitness was the one thing that was consistent. It was the one thing I could control. I moved from Vancouver and I moved because I was addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, and I needed to get out. And I know God told me to move here, and I did. And I met my husband, and I always wanted to get married and have kids. Like, that was my dream. That was like the heart of who I am. I want to be a mom and a good mom. And so I met my husband and we had a love for working out. I mean, that's what, we hung out every single weekend. We went to the gym. He asked me to move in a month after we met. And like, that was where our love for fitness began. He was like my rock. God brought him into my life. There's no way I would have met a guy that doesn't drink and has a strong head on his shoulders and provides like he has provided. 8 months after we met, we got pregnant with my first daughter, Madison. And I remember praying, my God, please let it be a girl. I don't want a boy, I want a girl. That sounds really bad, but I really wanted a girl, and it was a girl. And then she was 9 months and we were pregnant again. 9 months later, we had Tegan, and they're 18 months apart, and Maddie's 5, she's in kindergarten, and Tegan is 3, going on 4. They're the best thing that has ever happened to me. I think they're the reason that I'm so driven to keep going with this, because I see how I grew up and how some girls are growing up, and it breaks my heart. My lowest point, I had just moved here and met my husband and got married and had kids and decided to compete. It wasn't until after I competed, placed 6, and I was devastated. I was devastated because I told myself that it didn't matter what I placed. But in reality, when the only reason I was doing it was to prove to myself that if I looked a certain way and if I got first, then I would value myself. Then I would reaffirm who I was. And it was like the bottom of the floor just fell through for me. Here I'm following my dream and I competed, and it was like, yes, God, this is happening. And then all of a sudden, all those hopes and those dreams and what I thought of myself came crashing down. And then I just thought, I wasn't good in school. I don't have the privileged family, I wasn't good at sports, and so all of these negative things kept bombarding my mind. And it was like at that moment, crying out to God and saying, I don't know who I am. And I just felt like at that moment he showed me that it was those trials in my life, it was those times that I felt like my self-esteem was the lowest, those times I felt I wasn't the smartest, the times I struggled with my image and struggled with trying to fit in. It was that he showed me that is your calling, that is what you struggle with, but that is what you can help people with, because I have brought you through and out of it. He gave me this image of there's a broken mirror And then there was this mirror that wasn't broken, and it was all the things that he was calling me to do and that I was. But for some reason I kept looking in this broken mirror and seeing things that were wrong with me, but they weren't, because the mirror was broken. And it was like I was just drawn to that because I felt broken, so I felt like I was needing to look at that. But it was the one thing that actually related me to everybody. I tried for bikini, and my coach the first time said that I couldn't do bikini because I had big legs. I was so in tune with listening to somebody tell me who I was and what I could do that I believed that with all my heart. And if I would have listened to myself and took the risk and did bikini like I did this time, I got first. The first time I got 6. I didn't even place top 5, and I was devastated. And this time around, I looked better, but my head was on right. Like didn't really matter. I was out there to just try it, like to be fearless and try something that every coach has told me that I couldn't do because my body wasn't that tight. And here I go and do it because I wanted to do something that made me feel afraid. If I would have been that 15-year-old girl that started working out and had someone tell me that it's not what you eat and it's not, how you look, but if you don't believe it in your heart that you are loved and that you are more than enough and that you are smart and intelligent, if you don't believe that and if you don't speak it, it's just like a muscle. If you don't work out, your muscle will not develop. Well, I think women and girls have it all wrong. It's like we're doing exercise and we're trying to eat healthy, but we're letting our mind go lazy and we're believing what other people say about us even though it's not true. And then in return, we are our biggest bullies. We talk about how we don't want to bully people and anti-bully, but we bully ourselves the most. This was before I actually competed, and I kept getting these dreams in the middle of the night. I'm not joking, waking me up, and I'm leading a bunch of women, and we're like saying like an anthem. And it's like, in the army, how they repeat after, but it's like good words over yourself. And there's these women and we're doing this. And this dream kept waking me up and waking me up. I'm not joking, for a month. And I remember telling my husband, like, this dream keeps waking me up. Fast forward to now, I just felt like God saying to me, like, I want to do self-esteem camps for women. And that's kind of like that dream started coming back. I'm like, oh, I remember when I was having that dream. And that's where I see fitness ministry going, like doing self-esteem camps for young girls and really raising awareness with eating disorders and just really showing them what healthy self-esteem is and just getting to influence them. And you know what, honestly, loving them, because I think that's what those girls need, is love. I was once that young girl, and I wish I had someone to mentor me. That's like where my heart is. I'd love to have them, like, obviously all over Canada, and but it just starts with one, and that's kind of my vision. That's my dream. Stories will change you. Like when you hear someone's story, the impact of that can change like millions of people. And so I wanted to do something where girls could go to this camp. It would be based on like building healthy self-esteem and like what true beauty is. Fitness ministry, my mission statement is motivation through inspiration plus affirmation equals a transformation. I know from personal experience that I'm not motivated unless I'm inspired. And I know that I won't have an influence among women or girls unless I inspire them. Without affirming who you are, total transformation can't happen, because you can change your body, you can change your appearance, you can change your home, you can make more money, but unless it really starts internally, then none of that stuff matters. So that's what my mission is. That's like what I truly believe. It's the core of who I am, and it's the core of what fitness ministry stands for. When I was younger, I wish somebody would have told me the power of your words, the power of belief, more than how you look, more than what your marks say, how smart you are, more than what other people say. If you believe in yourself, that's all that you need. If I can do it, you can do it.